Hi, I'm Jimmy Lugo.
And I'm Shannon Feaster, former Women's Professional Racquetball Tour Commissioner. And this is Racquet Sports Today. All racket sports, all the time. This is your one stop for all of the latest news and information on local, national, and international racket and paddle sports. Today's show is a wrap-up of the 2011 international and national tournaments in racket sports,
Where we will bring you all the details and results for table tennis, badminton, and squash, racquetball, and a special feature on 360 ball and paddleball.
The speed, athleticism, and energy of Racket Sports Today rivals any other sporting events I have seen. And the action and excitement of racquetball, badminton, table tennis, and squash were on full display at last year's biggest championships. Across all racket sports, the competition has been fierce, and rivalries have forced even the top-ranked touring pros to step up their game.
Let's begin with the world of badminton on the international side. The Badminton World Federation 2011 Yonex French Open Tournament featured participants from many Asian and European nations, including the badminton powerhouses Malaysia, South Korea, India, China, and Denmark. But the star of the show was the current #1 shuttler in the world, Lee Chong-wei, who removed all doubts and cemented his position as the very best in the world when he won the $200,000 Yonex French Open. In capturing the French Open, Chong-wei won his 7th title of the year, 39th of his career, and his 20th Super Series title. Using position smashes and great defense, Chong-wei denied Japan's Kenichi Tago the opportunity to win his first Badminton World Federation World Super Series title with a devastating 21-16, 21-11 victory in 39 minutes. It was his 8th victory over Tago from as many matches, and the second time Chong-wei has defeated the Japanese ace in a Super Series final, the first coming in last year's All-England tournament in Birmingham. It was also a belated birthday present for the Malaysian, who turned 29 last year. His victory in Paris means he has now won an incredible 22 Super Series titles from 48 such tournaments since 2007. Chong-wei won 3 Super Series titles in 2007, twice more in 2008, 4 times in 2009, 6 in 2010, so far in 2011. He has won in Malaysia, England, India, Indonesia, and France. During their match, Tago tried to match Chong-wei's aggression but found it difficult to crack his opponent's defense. He managed to stay in the game until 12-12, only for Chong-wei to step up the pace and win 9 of the next 13 points. Tago was the aggressor once again in the second game and took a 5-3 lead when once again the world's #1 found several extra gears in his arsenal to zoom ahead, winning 14 of the next 15 points, including 9 straight unanswered winners to take a 17-6 lead. Chong-wei then eased off the gas, allowing Tago to win another 5 points before he wrapped up the match.
In the world's most popular racket sport, table tennis, let's review some of the highlights from the Volkswagen Table Tennis Women's World Cup in Singapore. Ding Ning faced her Chinese national team colleague, Li Xiaoxiao, in the championship match. During the match, her opponent Xiaoxiao was clearly conscious of Ning's most potent and lethal weapon, the forehand topspin. Time and again, Xiaoxiao directed her attacks toward the backhand of Ning. But the backhand block of Ning was like a stone wall, easily reflecting all attacks back to Xiaoxiao. In the opening game, Ning established an early lead. Xiaoxiao recovered but was never able to seize the advantage. In the second game, the players were level at 4-all. The next 2 points went to Ning, the next 2 were shared, the next 4 all went to Ning. Outstanding rallies greeted the start of the third game, with Xiaoxiao moving ahead 5-3. The most outstanding of all took the score to 5-4. Xiaoxiao pinned Ding Ning to the court surrounds. Time and again, Ning successfully returned high topspin lobs, and then from wide in the forehand, she executed a forehand topspin that left Xiaoxiao dumbstruck and the crowd in awe. The level of consistency was high from both players, but in the fourth game, Xiaoxiao took over. Nevertheless, Ning fought back. She trailed throughout the game, but leveled at 9-all. At 10-9, she saved 1 game point, then at 11-10, she saved another one, before having her own at 12-11. This time, Xiaoxiao held off Ning before Ning had a second chance at 13-12. A forehand flick from Xiaoxiao clipped the top of the net. The ball flew long and Ning let out a squeal, obviously relieved. In the fifth game, the punching and counterpunching continued until that game was level at 8-all. The next point went to Ning, and the next, and the next. The 5-game thriller featured spectacular shot-making by both ladies, but in the end, Xiaoxiao prevailed. 11-9, 11-5, 7-11, 14-12, and 11-8. Ding Ning celebrated. The world champion had captured the World Cup crown. Not only did Ning win her debut in the prestigious World Cup tournament, her victory meant she became only the third player in history to win the women's singles title at the World Championships and the World Cup in the same year. It was the 7th meeting in world ranking events between Ning and Xiao Xiao, with Ning winning the 3 most recent encounters, all in 2011. She won last January at the English Open, last February at the Qatar Open, and then she succeeded in what was the most important and coveted contest of the year. Next up in the world of squash, Laura Massaro and Amar Shabana are the Delaware Investments U.S. Open champions after both turned in dominant performances in the finals. The championship was played at Drexel University in Philadelphia. Although her opponent, Casey Brown, took the first game, Laura came back strong and dominated the next game, and Laura from England beat Casey Brown from Australia 5-11, 11-5, 11-3, and 11-5. Laura made a good enough start to the tournament as she and Casey Brown traded patient rallies to open proceedings on the glass court. Getting to 2-all in that opening game took only a few minutes, and you certainly couldn't pick a winner at that point. But as the game wore on, it was the Australian who began to take charge of the rallies more, and was helped by several unforced errors from Laura. She moved ahead to 6-3, then 9-4, and took the lead at 11-5 with a drop shot that left Laura a long way back in the court. After that, though, the 5th seed from Lancashire was in truth dominant. The rallies were still there, the movement and shot making from both were good, but it was Casey Brown who was being rushed. And Laura who was making the most of the openings she waited patiently for. Her new favorite shot, the deceptive little cross-court flick from the front left corner, was working well, and more than a few points were earned with it. In the second game, Laura went ahead 4-2, then 7-4, and 10-5, and won it with a drive to the deep back corner that was too tight to retrieve. The third saw her lead 9-1 in a flash, with Casey hitting 10 after 10. The first 2 games took 14 and 19 minutes respectively. 11-3 in the third came after just 7 minutes. Casey did lead the fourth 2-1, but Laura was soon back on top, controlling play again as she went ahead 5-2 and then 10-4. Casey saved one match ball with a straight drive, but Laura put an end to hopes of a comeback with another wrong-footing both shot. And the new U.S. Open champion raised her hand in the air. Casey said that she couldn't get in front of Laura, with Laura putting her under pressure all the time. She kept making mistakes. Laura couldn't believe she won. 2011 was a great year for her with 3 major victories in the U.S. Nationals.
On the men's side, Amar Shabana claimed the 2nd U.S. Open title within the last 3 years with a scintillating performance to beat the top-seeded Nick Matthew in 4 fast-paced games. Shabana of Egypt, ranked number 3 in the world, defeated the world's number 1 squash player, Nick Matthew of England, 11-9, 8-11, 11-2, and 11-4 in 51 minutes. Amar was in scintillating form against struggling opponent after the first 2 games were shared. The Egyptian 3rd seed made a tremendous start, thrilling the Philadelphia crowd with a series of winning shots that left Matthew struggling. Coming back from 6-1 down was a tall order, but the Englishman almost made it. Getting to 8-9, but then having a let decision turn into a no-let as Amar appealed to the video ref. Shabana then took the game 11-9 on another winning volley drop after 19 minutes. The second game was a carbon copy, but in reverse. Matthew was initially dominant, cutting off Shabana's shots to race to an 8-1 lead, only to see Shabana fight his way back from 9-4 down. Shabana rediscovered his touch, got to 8-9, and this time it was he who was annoyed not to complete the comeback as Matthew leveled 11-8. That second game used up just 10 minutes on the clock as both went for their shots. And the next 2 games were just as quick, 8 minutes and then 7 minutes. Amar was totally dominant in both games, reeling off winning volley drops and drop shots almost at will. Matthew was by now clearly struggling with his movement and simply had no answer, scoring just 5 more points, and 3 of those were late in the 4th game. There was no big celebration as Amar put in one last drop shot, but the Prince of Cairo felt deep satisfaction at winning another major title.
On the local squash scene, the National Capital Squash Juniors played a key role in national championship victory. Congratulations to Camille Lanier and Kira Keating, who played number 4 and number 5 for the National Capital Squash A team that defeated the defending national champion Philadelphia team to win the A division at the 2011 U.S. Women's Team Championships at the Meadow Mill Athletic Club in Baltimore, Maryland. Camille and Kira played with team captain Larissa Stevenson. The results? Camille won every match she played, and Kira won 4 out of 5 matches. It's the second time the NCS team has won the national title. It's great to see local teams win, and especially a national title, so congratulations to all of these amazing young athletes. Now on to the world's fastest racket sport, racquetball. For our viewers not familiar with racket sports, racquetball was created in 1949 in a YMCA in Greenwich, Connecticut by Joe Sobek. He modeled the game after squash, paddleball, and handball, and originally called it paddle rackets. Sobek used a stringed racket instead of the existing solid-face paddles in order to increase the control and the speed of the ball. As in all racket sports over the years, the racket composition and design have changed, and with those changes the speed of the game, including serves and rallies, have also increased. Racquetball is considered the fastest racket sport in the world and requires extraordinary speed, stamina, and power to compete at the highest levels. The fastest racquetball serve has been clocked at 191 miles per hour, with the top players on the men's side consistently hitting the ball past the 140 mile per hour mark during normal rallies. Racquetball is played in an enclosed court 40 feet long by 20 feet wide and 20 feet high. The speed of the ball doesn't leave much room or time to react, nor to retrieve the ball during the course of a rally. Sometimes players just can't get out of the way, and the result is a bullseye left by the hot speeding ball that leaves a mark that's both remembered and felt long after the match is over. Ouch! I know I've been hit before. The game can be played either indoors or outdoors, and matches can be singles, doubles, or cutthroat, which involves 3 players. It is only one of 3 racket sports that use all surfaces. The floor, surrounding walls, and the ceiling are all playable areas. Racquetball's popularity has been increasingly steady over the last decade and has over 14 million regular participants worldwide and over 5.5 million within the United States.
We'll turn our spotlight to racquetball's premier Grand Slam event, the 2011 U.S. Open Racquetball Championships, where all of the top players in the world, from the International Racquetball Tour, the Women's Professional Racquetball Organization, and the Classic Professional Racquetball Tour, competed for the largest total prize money purse in the sport. The Grand Slam title matches were viewed in the stunning made-for-TV portable stadium racquetball court. On the men's side, Kane Wasilanchuk continued his complete domination, winning his 7th men's U.S. Open Racquetball Championship title in the men's professional division, defeating the current world number 2 player Rocky Carson 7-11, 11-2, 11-4, 11-7. Kane is undefeated in U.S. Open finals and extended his incredible match-winning streak to 122 matches without a loss on the court. Since Kane's streak began in January 2009, he has faced off against Rocky in International Racquetball Tour tournament finals 15 times and, of course, won each time. 3 times during the winter events of 2011. The final matches between the top 2 ranked players on tour went 5 games. The last 6 matchups, though, have only gone 3 games. 21 months after he last lost a match in which he played, Kane isn't slowing down. In fact, if you ask many of his fellow players, Kane is getting even better. In winning the U.S. Open, Kane Wasilanchuk won his 4th consecutive U.S. Open Racquetball Championship title and his 7th overall, remaining undefeated in U.S. Open finals and extending his own record of U.S. Open victories to 7. Early, it looked like 7 might not happen as Carson led all of the game, and although Wasilanchuk did tie it at 7-7 before Carson won 11-7. But games 2 and 3 were vintage Wasilanchuk. He took big leads of 8-0 and 7-0 respectively in each game, winning both easily. Game 3 was a different matter as Carson battled Wasilanchuk all the way. They were tied at 3-3. Carson led 5-3 and 7-6. But Wasilanchuk came back, took a 9-7 lead, and then won 11-7 on a push shot into the front right corner. It was a shot that Wasilanchuk used to close out 2 games against Jose Rojas in their semifinal. Asked about it afterwards, Wasilanchuk said he hit that shot hundreds of thousands of times, no doubt that I was not going to skip it. Prior to the final, neither Wasilanchuk or Carson had lost a game at this year's U.S. Open.
For the third time in as many years, the two top women's players in the world, Ronda Racich from Phoenix, Arizona, and Paula Longoria from Tijuana, Mexico, faced off in the U.S. Open final of the women's professional division in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Racich is the four-time defending women's professional division champion. In addition to her wins in 2009 and 2010, Racich won the U.S. Open in 2003 and 2007. She is the reigning U.S. and four-time world champion in women's singles and one of the most dominant players on the Women's Pro Tour of all time. This match was definitely an opportunity for validation. A fifth U.S. Open title for Racich would cement her place in the history books. A win for Longoria would be her second U.S. Open championship. She won her first in 2008 and would keep her momentum and winning streak against Racich alive. During the last 12 months, each player has won 5 WPRO events. Racich won the 2010-2011 year-end points race, while Longoria won the Tour Championship event in New Orleans last May. Longoria won the World Doubles title in 2010, when at the same time, Racich won the World Singles Championship. Back and forth, these two ladies are the premier players in the game right now. Longoria, the second-ranked player in the Women's Professional Racquetball Organization, won the Women's Open title with a straight-game victory over Ronda Racich 11-7, 11-5, and 11-9. Longoria drove serve throughout the match, and it was an effective strategy against Racich, who never saw a serve she was comfortable with. Racich played very well in the semifinal match against Kerry Wachtel, so she may have peaked too early. Game 1 was close early on, as they were tied 4-4, then Longoria opened up a lead at 8-4 and 10-5 as she held on to win 11-7. Game 2 was also close early on. Racich led 3-2 when Longoria got the serve back and hit 2 straight aces to make it 4-3. And she didn't relinquish the lead as Longoria won 11-5. In Game 3, it was close the whole way. In fact, Racich led most of that game, including at 5-2, but Longoria tied it at 9-9 and then got the final 2 points to win her second U.S. Open title. Longoria's 3 straight game victory is the first U.S. Open women's final to go straight game since 2006, when Christy Husek, formerly Christy Van Hees, defeated Cheryl Godinez.
On the Classic Professional Racquet Tour, CPRT, men's 40-plus, final Woody Klaus faced Corey Osborne in the CPRT's first ever U.S. Open final with players from different countries. Osborne is from Barrie, Ontario, Canada, while Klaus is from Colorado. More international flair comes from the fact that Woody was born in Africa, is the 2-time defending title holder, and appeared in the final in 2008. Corey Osborne is a former Canadian national champion and current member of his country's national team, and was coming off of an impressive semifinal victory over former U.S. Open champ Jimmy Lowe. Corey had a lot of momentum on his side, but it was not enough as he was defeated by Woody Klaus in 3 straight games, 9-3, 9-5, 9-1, giving Woody his 3rd straight Classic Pro Racquetball Tour CPRT title.
This brings us to our Racquet Sports Spotlight, featuring 2 new recently developed racket sports, 360 ball and kept ball. In this part of the show, we highlight new racket sports that are being played around the world. 360 ball, which was invented in Kenisa, South Africa by the Collins brothers, Mark and John, is a truly unique racket sport. It is the newest racket sport, the first racket sport created in Africa, and the only racket sport that is played with a 360-degree range of play for all players. It's a lot of play. The game is played around a circular return disc that serves as the reflective medium between opposing players. The sport can be played in 3 versions: Pro Court, Pro Pitch, and regular play. The Pro Court configuration has a surrounding circular ricochet wall that is considered in play during rallies. There are no surrounding walls or net for Pro Pitch or regular play games. Regardless of the game format, the only equipment required is rackets, a 360 ball, the circular return disc, and a level surface with a sufficiently large surrounding open area, such as sport field, park, backyard, or beach. The game can be played in a 2-person singles format or as a 4-person doubles match. Opponents stand facing each other, positioned around the return disc in the middle. The object of the game is to hit the ball onto the disc from the serving side, across the core line, or at least waist high toward the opposing individual or team, who must volley the ball back to the opponent by way of bouncing it on the disc, without hitting the ground first. Any ball that hits the ground is a dead ball. as well as any ball missing the disc on a serve or return results in a loss of serve or a point scored. In competitive matches, the use of the surrounding ricochet wall increases the complexity of the game and strategy required, as all balls that rebound off the walls are in play. The server executes a single strike to place the ball in play, hitting the ball against the return disc, across and toward the opponent. Unlike beach paddleball or speed mitten, the ball cannot be hit directly to the opponent. The ball must always bounce on the disc between the opponent's strokes. It is similar to the game of speedy ball in that both utilize a rebound surface to serve as the reflective medium between opponents and allow for 2 strokes on the ball, a set and a strike by each side before the ball must strike the return disc. Games are won by the first team or player to score 21 points, with at least a 2-point margin. If scores are tied at 20-20, then the game continues until one side reaches 25 points first. Matches are best 3 out of 5 games. Ketball is another unique racket sport. It is the only racket sport that is designed for play in a pool environment other than the beach volleyball game variations, aqua paddleball, smash ball, and speedo. This sport has its origins in the Netherlands. Diederik van Heusden invented the unique sport in 2006. It was the fulfillment of an idea that he had for over 10 years. The sport is best described as a mixture of beach ball and racquetball. It is a mix of athleticism, entertainment, cardio, and cooling all at the same time. Ketball can be played in a singles or doubles format, with individuals or 2-man teams facing each other in a pool across a net. Rally point scoring is used, enabling either player or team to score regardless of who serves. Games are played to 14 points with a 2-point margin required for victory. The sport is currently played in 3 locations around the world: the Netherlands, Valencia, Spain, and Aruba, with plans to open in Brazil in the near future.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat with the best racket sports shots and rallies of 2011.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think this kind of speaks for itself. Check this out.
Wow.
9 paddles going at the same time.
Unbelievable hand-eye coordination.
Now, coming up, you're going to see an amazing rally here. First of all,
Oh, trick shot. See that corner shot?
oh, over the head, overhand.
Overhead smash.
So you're better, much
Just
better.
above the 10. Caught that sidewall.
Now this looks like a very interesting game. I haven't figured it out yet, but it's... Let's... that was Ketball, wasn't it?
We're so amazed we can't even say anything about this. Look at this rally.
Just return. Look at that save.
Oh, these guys have hands.
Oh, what a beautiful shot.
Sweet. I got that.
His opponent was amazed at the shot and just said, oh my God.
Here we go.
Okay, he's got him on the defensive here. He's going back, he's just laying it up there on the table.
Yep, 2 different strategies.
Oh, look, this guy's just laying, he's just laying back there. Oh, nice get. Look, he walks around and turns around, he didn't think he hit the table.
Didn't.
Okay. Oh my gosh. He's still taking it up. Still taking it
there
up.
we go.
There we go, yes.
What is he, 10 feet back?
Oh, and now he's coming
here
in. Now he's coming on the offensive.
If he wins this rally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great job.
Oh, badminton doubles. Look at this. I love that touch. You see that?
Oh, look at that dive.
Oh, man.
What a save. Oh, look at him. He's on the floor. He does it again.
He didn't win that rally, did he?
Yeah, absolutely did.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Take a look at it again.
Yeah, man, that's hot.
Nice.
No, this is something I'd be afraid for my eyes. There's no way I could play this sport. Look at these guys. Just
I mean, these
rip
guys
that
are just
ball.
wailing away at it, and it's just, how fast is that ball going?
I mean, I think that might be faster than squash.
Well, you know what? And how do you score a point on this thing?
Hit you in the eye.
Okay, and well, this one, the number one play right here.
Look at this.
Coming up, okay?
Look at
Nice.
these lunges. Look at the way that these guys can just change the speed of the ball.
Comes, oh, beautiful dive. Gets up, oh, backhand to the corner. Amazing shot.
That's great stuff. Great stuff. As we look back at the events and tournaments in 2011 for racket sports, we marvel at the extraordinary level of competition, excitement, and action that we've seen.
There were many hotly contested tournaments throughout the racket world, and some new champions have been crowned.
But many past champions reasserted their will and determination, maintaining their position as international and national champions in their respective racket sports.
The losers will have to go back to the drawing board, make adjustments in their game plans, and try to perform better in this year's many tournaments. The winners can't take it easy, but can bask in the glow of their victories for a short while.
Thank you so much for watching. This has been Racquet Sports Today. I'm Shannon Feaster.
And I'm Jimmy Lugo.